Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? It's proclaimed the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to another great episode of The Spread. I'm your host, Jim Sella, in studio with JDash, Big Easy, and JK47. The bullets are flying in studio today. Dash is almost passing out in his seat. Easy looks like he's feeling it over there with his new tablet.
How do you
All
know?
the info.
How do you know the episode is great before we did it?
Because everything we do is great. I ooze greatness. I'm oozing machismo.
He's a winner.
Just like Razor Ramon. Yeah, we had this discussion earlier. I'm a winner because I win at life. And we're going to win at this segment. We're going to talk a little AL second base. Easy, get us rolling.
AL second baseman this year. We're going to top 15. Starting at 15. We got a little spring battle here going on in Toronto with Meister Asturis, Ryan Goins, and Devon Travis.
For the Blue Jays.
What about these three guys, Jeff? Do these names ring a bell to you?
Well, I mean, Meister Asturis obviously played for Anaheim for a while. I mean, the guy's established himself in the major leagues. You know, I mean, he's 34 years old.
So he's the default second baseman for Toronto?
Well, I mean, he's your most experienced at this point, you know. I mean, there's nothing really eye-popping about his statistics other than, you know, he brings a solid glove and at least a mediocre stick to the ballpark on any given day.
Well, Goings blows. He only had a 188 average last year.
I mean, he doesn't have a lot of pop either. I mean, and plus, already at 27 years old, he's already hitting the prime years of his career, you know. But the guy you got to keep an eye on is Devon Travis.
Please believe. He's one of my personal favorites.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy that could truly break out, you know, and playing in that experienced power punch Blue Jays lineup this year, you know, only could benefit this young man.
Yeah, he shows pop, speed. He has an excellent K rate, very good walk rate. He does everything pretty well, and I'm hoping he wins the job here in spring. But if not, it's going to go to Asturis for sure.
Well, I mean,
Goins, he has 300 career bats, but like you said, he hit 188 last year. He's already 27 years old. His minor league numbers ain't even that great. He hit 275 with a 331 on-base percentage. No pop, really. He has a little bit of speed, but his base running ain't that great. He has 34 stolen bases and got caught stealing 32 times.
So you'd say Goings is out of there?
Yeah, he's going.
He's out of there.
He's gone.
but you got to look at Travis there. You got to look at the 29 home runs, and not only that, the 388 on base percentage. You know, this suggests that he's going to have at least solid pop at the major league level, and the guy's going to get himself on base. You know, you got to love that 323 batting average also. You know, the 134 strikeouts and 993 at-bats isn't looking bad. So, I mean, all in all, the Blue Jays could have themselves a solid player here.
Let's move along to number 14. Bleep this dude at 15.
Which dude? Which one?
All of them.
All of them? Devon Travis is the man.
Yeah, he might be good. I don't know. But the rest of them are garbage.
At number 14, we have Josh Rutledge with the Angels. He's not a full-time player, so we're going to mention Grant Green here, too.
Double G.
Josh Rutledge, I mean, what really could you say about him? I mean, he's a guy that'll fill in there, probably simply a stopgap player at this point.
Yeah, he never plays a full season. 309 at-bats was his career high. He hit all right last year, 269 average with a 323 on base. He doesn't show much pop or speed, so you're not really going to get much from him, but he's still young. He's a decent player. He's not going to give you much.
You know, and Grant Green, I mean, here's a guy that was a first-round draft choice, you know, back in Oakland. You know, never really fulfilled his promise as a Major League Baseball player, you know, hoping to get his career kick-started here at Anaheim.
Yeah, he was a top 100 prospect a couple times a few years ago, but he's dropped off the list since then, and he's, like you said, he's never really got it together. He had a good minor league career. Still, 239 career bats in the majors. I know he's 27, but he can get something going. He hit 273 last year. He just got to work on that walk rate. 2 walks? That's ridiculous.
2 walks and how many at-bats? Almost
He only
100.
had 99 at-bats.
The 1 home run suggests also that he's going to have limited pop.
Even the kid in Rookie of the Year got walked more than twice.
You know, he did show double-digit pop in the minors. It's not completely out of the realm of possibility that he could hit 10 to 12 home runs. But I wouldn't expect it. I don't expect much from him. And plus, Rutledge is going to get more playing time.
It's a great way to stay in shape.
Who do we got at number 13? Easy.
13. Got your boy, Jonathan Scope. He's aiming in at the top shelf second baseman tier level this year.
Well,
he wants to be there.
What he needs to do is work on his walk rate and his K rate a little bit, and that'll help his average out. He showed he has pop. He had 16 home runs and 455 at bat last year, and he's only 23 years old. So he can actually grow into more power, and that was just his rookie season. So there is a little bit of upside there and hope that he can work on both the walk rate and K rate.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, once he gets himself some plate discipline, those 16 home runs could easily turn into 25 and 30. This is a guy that has tremendous pop. You know, you definitely like to see him strike out less. 13 walks to 122 strikeouts. That's almost a 10-to-1
It's ridiculous.
walk strikeout ratio. Unless you're pitching, that's not a good number.
Yeah, he hit 268 in the minors with a 335 on base percentage. So there is, like I said, some upside there. He just got to work on. He got to take more walks more than anything. You can't take 13 walks and have 70 plate appearances.
No, definitely not.
Number 12, we have old as ball Steven Drew. He's really not that old. He just seems like he's been around forever.
He's the Yankees second baseman?
Yeah, he turns 32 in 3 days.
Am I reading these stats right? He hit 162 last year?
162, 237.
And he's going to start for the Yankees?
Yeah.
That A-Rod contract's killing him, huh? No wonder they're trying to get out of those home run incentives.
Well, listen, he has a 256 career average and a 322 career on base percentage, so people are hoping he can bounce back a little bit, and you have to expect him to hit better than 162. He's definitely a better hitter than that, but he's hit double-digit home runs each year from 2007 to 2010, so he can hit 15 home runs for you too.
And what do we have him at? 12?
12.
In 13 bats this year in spring training, he has 1 hit.
1 hit?
That's solid.
Why, it's spring
He
training.
should be playing for the Pirates. Let's
Yeah, but
trade Neil Walker for him.
He's ready to go. We don't like the Yankees on the spread, and that's been a point made already.
The thing about Steven Drew is his health. He's played in 86 games or less 3 of the past 4 years, so he needs to stay on the field. And if he stays healthy, his average will go up, have a little bit more pop, and he just needs to play a full season. But really, they got 2 younger guys in New York, in Jose Perella and Robert Refsnyder, that are one of those are the future second baseman for the Yankees. So he's really just a stopgap until one of them are ready.
It's a great way to stay in shape.
Number 11, we have another spring battle between 2 very young players, Carlos Sanchez and Micah Johnson. Sanchez is going to be turning 23 during the season, while Micah Johnson is 24 years old.
It's not
Your
a real
boy.
jacket.
We're talking Carlos Sanchez and Micah Johnson here.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Listen,
yeah.
Micah Johnson's having a great spring. Dude's hitting 389 already.
Yeah, he is having a good spring. And if you look,
8 games played, 18 at-bats.
he hasn't made his MLB debut yet, so it's probably...
He's the front runner right now.
Yeah, he probably is, but don't be surprised if it's Carlos Sanchez to start the year. But if you look in the minors, Micah Johnson had a 297 average with a 366 on base. He doesn't have much power, but he had blazing speed. He had 84 stolen bases across 3 levels in 2013, but in 2014 he had just 22 stolen bases between AA and AAA. So we'll have to see if he can get back to stealing 50, 60 bases. But even though he only had those 22 stolen bases, he still hit pretty well with a 294 average and a 351 on base. So he looks like he's going to be a pretty decent player. Now, Carlos Sanchez, he wasn't terrible in the minors either. He hit 284 with a 353 on base. And in AAA last year, he hit 293 with a 349 on base percentage. So he looks like a pretty decent player too. I would say Micah Johnson's going to be the better player though.
I would have to agree with you, JDash. I mean, the 16 home runs, I mean, while it's not eye-popping, it suggests that he could be growing into some power also,
Right.
you know. I mean, career 366 on base percentage I think, is actually going to get better. I mean, this guy seems like he can hit the ball. You
We'll
know,
have to see how it translates to the bigs though. Let's move on to number 10.
Who we got? Nick Franklin. He's 24, played for the Rays, 168 batting average last year, 222 on base, only 81 at bats. So what is he, part-time, Dash? What's up with that?
He's still a young player. He only has 450 career bats. He was actually a big-time prospect at one time, but he's really never lived up to his potential either.
I mean, he's definitely a guy that has some tools. I mean, rare power-speed combination for the middle infielder. 12 home runs in his rookie year in 2013.
Only 1 last year. That's not too much power. Pedro Serrano got more than that in 1 scene in a movie.
Yeah, it was just 81 at bats, and he wasn't having a good year. Like you said, a 160 batting average. You can't play him too much when he's not hitting the ball. But if you look at his minor numbers, 284 with a 361 on base. He had 57 jacks and 74 stolen bases in 1,924 at bats in the minors. So he does have that rare combination, like you were saying, 47. But they're not really sure if they're going to play him at shortstop or second base yet. We have him here at second base because when we did our shortstop segment, we had Asdrubal Cabrera. They're going to see how Franklin plays here in the spring at shortstop. If he can't handle it, he's probably going to play second base, and Cabrera will play short. Cabrera can play anywhere, so it's really what Franklin can handle.
So is this guy a potential sleeper this year?
That's why I have him at number 10. If he was going to do what he did last year, he should be number 17.
Agreed.
That's going big sleeper there.
All right,
Moving up
to number 9, we got Omar Infante at the Royals.
Love that dude's name.
Well, I mean, here's the guy. I mean, this is a guy I've actually personally always liked.
He probably gets a lot of tail
You know-
just because of his name, Omar Infante. It just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, sounds
Get girls drunk, you're good to go.
The most interesting man in the world.
Believe it.
But anyway, I mean, let's talk about this guy for a minute here. Last year had a little bit of a down season, 252 average, 6 home runs, 66 RBI. Actually, I mean, which coincidentally happened to be a career high.
Yeah,
Average
but you're
is
right.
garbage.
It's been down from his career numbers. He's usually a 276 hitter with a 316 on base, which isn't great. But like you said, he's just a good baseball player. He can get things done in every category. Not great numbers, but not terrible numbers either.
A leader in the locker room. So when you're still putting up good enough numbers and you're a good influence in the locker room, Kansas City, they're a team looking to keep playing some good ball and keep competing. So it's somebody you want to have around.
Well, the nice thing about Infante, too, is, I mean, he plays multiple positions. You might see him at second base
Versatile.
one day, then you might see him at third base.
He is the most interesting man in the world.
But like you were saying, it was a down year for him. He had his worst on-base percentage since his rookie season. And he hit 271 or better every season from 2006 to 2013. So he only hit 252 last year. But again, look, that was his age 32 season. It's right when these second basemen start to fall off. So I wouldn't be too sure that he's going to bounce back to his numbers from 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, I think best case scenario for him, you might be looking at a happy medium, somewhere along maybe a 280 average, maybe 10 home runs, 40 to 50 RBIs.
Well, if you look in 2013 with Detroit, he had a great season. He hit 318 with a 345 on base with 10 jacks. So I don't see him doing that great. Like you said, a medium between that and what he did last year, I would expect.
Get him a little HGH. We'll see those numbers pump up.
That's it. He's on something. Number 8 for the Texas Rangers, team that's been struggling as of the last couple years. Rougned Odor, 21 years old.
This dude got no tail because of his name.
Yeah,
right?
this dude, he's from Cuba or
Wonder if he walks
something.
around the
Venezuela.
field going, Odor,
Venezuela.
Odor.
Last year,
Odor.
he's a rookie. And I don't know, I Googled him and a video popped up of him hitting one deep. So
Yeah, last year was his debut. He had 9 jacks and 386 at bats, so he's already shown a little bit of pop at age 21. You'd think he can grow in a little bit more, and in a full season, you might see 20 home runs out of him. You don't know. If you look at his minor league numbers, 280 average, 336 on base. Nothing great there, but he has speed, he has pop. He could be a decent second baseman for him.
Only 4 stolen bases, though. You want to see him get that up a little bit. Maybe at least between 10 and 15.
Yeah, he has to work on his base running more than anything.
7
Look,
caught.
Yeah, 7 caught stealing. You got to be...
It's a lost art in baseball, man.
But really, Texas Rangers fans are pissed because one time, top 3 prospect, Jurickson Profar, he was expected to make it. Jurickson Profar, you don't remember that guy? Never heard him? Well, listen, he was supposed to be a beast. He missed all of 2014 with a shoulder injury, and then he was supposed to come out this season ready to break out, and he's going to miss all season this year, too, with a torn labrum.
Those labrums are a bitch.
So really, he doesn't have many at-bats.
That's not a great way to stay in shape.
He's supposed to be an excellent fielder and a pretty good hitter, too. So it's sad to see he's not going to play. But I do like Rougned Odor, too.
Odor's got it.
Number 7.
My
Someone you
favorite
like,
team.
47.
I do. Number 7, Cleveland Indians second baseman, Jason Kipnis. This is a guy I'm actually really high on. Has a nice combination of pop and speed.
Don't forget to take
Had a little bit of a down season last year, with the 240 average, only 6 home runs, 41 RBI.
Yeah,
You know,
terrible. He still showed his speed. That was the one category that didn't suffer too much.
I mean,
84 RBIs from a second baseman though last year. That's pretty sweet.
Not like
41.
you mean the year before? Yeah, 2013.
Yeah. 2013. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in 2013, he was a beast. He had 284 with the 366 on base, 17 jacks, 30 stolen bases.
There was a lot of HGH going around in 13, man. Everybody's doing good.
But really, he hasn't put together a full good season yet. That year, he hit 284 with the 17 jacks, those 84 RBI you were talking about. That was most of that was in the first half of the season. Then he fell off, and then he did that another year, and then last year he was just terrible all around. But I think you're right. 47. He's going to have a bounce back year.
I mean, this is a guy that needs to be a key cog in this Cleveland lineup, you know, if they're going to be a factor.
Terry Francona, the manager up there still?
Absolutely.
That dude's always drunk in the clubhouse. I love it.
I'll tell you what, they got Carlos Santana.
You should hang out with him, Easy.
Well, I'll tell you what, if
Down.
Terry Francona teaches you one thing, it's abusing alcohol has absolutely no consequences. Because, I mean, he seems to do good work wherever he is, so.
That's it.
Fried chicken and beer. Boom.
Listen, that combination between Kipnis and Francisco Lindor when Lindor's ready is going to be a pretty nice middle infield for the Indians. And plus, Michael Brantley in center field's one of my favorite players, and Carlos Santana's a beast too, obviously.
Plays the guitar in between innings.
You're dead wrong.
It was a good move moving him to first base.
It was. It was a terrible move moving him to third.
Who do we got at number 6? Ben Zobrist from the A's. Easy, you like this dude.
Big Benny Z. My sources inside the A's locker room tell me he's a party animal.
Double fisting it in between innings.
He's like Wade
That's
Boggs,
it.
though. He gets it done afterwards.
34 years old. He's a couple years older than I am. I feel his pain already right now.
272 average
Dude
last
probably
year.
is
354 on base. 10 home runs.
He almost cracked the top 5.
10 home runs, 10 stolen
Only
bases.
84 Ks and 570 at bats.
That's the thing about him. Look at his walk rate, too. 75 walks. This guy has a great eye at the plate. He's just a very good player. He can play pretty much any position. In fact, he might end up starting in right field to begin the season because Josh Reddick may not be ready for the start of the season.
So who's going to play second if he moves to the right field?
A's fan favorite Eric Sogard. He's not the greatest player in the world, but A's fans love him, so they probably wouldn't mind that.
He's a scrapper.
So he's the Josh Harrison of the A's.
Harrison's a little bit better of a player, but yeah, pretty much.
Already 3 doubles in this spring.
Hard to imagine Zobrist not being in
Zobrist?
that Rays uniform.
Yeah, Zobrist always gets it done.
Doubling up.
If you look, he had double-digit home runs each of the past 7 years, with a career high of 27 in 2009. He had double-digit stolen bases in each of the past 6 seasons, with a high of 24 in 2010. This guy's very consistent.
Well, he's definitely by definition of a solid major leaguer. I mean, as you said earlier, the guy plays everywhere. Brings a half-decent stick to the ballpark on any given night.
Look at this. 72 walks or more in each of the last 6 seasons. His lowest on-base percentage in a season during that span was .346.
So this is a guy that definitely knows how to play the game.
He's always going to be a top 6, top 7 second baseman. There's no doubt about it. Until he retires, probably.
You looking for him to add on to those 10 home runs, JDash?
He's going to be turning 34 in May. 10, 12 maybe. I wouldn't expect 20 home runs from him anymore.
I mean, I definitely would forecast his home runs to go up a little bit, though. I mean, playing in Oakland, I mean, you know the way Billy Beane likes to play out there.
Yeah.
But then again, he does
Might be
emphasize...
traded by the deadline.
Well, the thing is, too, is...
He's already been traded. He just doesn't know it yet.
You know, you got to look at the way Billy Beane runs things. He likes home runs and on-base percentage. You know, I mean...
Crunch those numbers.
You know, with
Computers
Zobrist...
win baseball
Once
games.
again, I mean, he could be a potential sleeper also.
Get Jonah Hill down here on the spread.
At number 5, we have the Minnesota Twins' Brian Dozier. He's going to be turning 28 in May. This guy has 2020 potential, and he did it last year. 23 jacks, 21 stolen bases. His average isn't ever really high, 242. But look, 89 walks and 129 Ks and 598 at-bats. That keeps his on-base percentage up, 345 last season.
Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
I really like this guy, J-Dash. I mean, came pretty much up through the Twins system, got himself some playing time. I love the pop. I love the home run numbers.
And he scores a ton of runs. Scored 112 last year. The one thing, though, is he was off to a real hot start last year, and he tailed off big time after the All-Star break. Had just 5 home runs and 5 steals and 283 plate appearances after the break. So we'll have to see if he can keep up the 2020 potential he showed last year.
Although you got to like the way his walk rate was up from 2013, though.
That's the thing. If he can keep it like that, he doesn't necessarily have to hit 20 home runs because he's going to be on base a lot and he's going to score a lot of runs regardless.
So, I mean, this is a guy who definitely has some more good days ahead of him. I mean, he's definitely shown improvement. I mean, improved plate discipline can only mean good things.
Yeah, this will only be his 3rd full season in the big, so there's definitely room to grow still, even though he's going to be turning 28.
So far, he's on game. He's only got 11 at bats this spring, but he's hitting 545.
Beast mode.
Beast mode with a 583 on base percentage.
You guys see Will Ferrell played not all 9 positions the other day in spring training games?
Yeah, stupid.
It was for an HBO documentary type thing.
Yeah, it was for some charity or something,
Yeah.
too.
I was watching ESPN. They said he was going to play all 10 positions.
ESPN did? There's 10 positions?
Yes, DH.
That's what he
Yeah,
said.
DH.
I guess.
They did say 10, I believe.
So you have to take that into consideration.
So they let him
I don't know. I read it on
They let him
hardballtalk.com. They just said 9.
Yeah, he batted.
I heard it was 9 in 5 different games. Mark Madden was saying it was 9 different games, but I think it was only 5.
It was 5 games and 10 positions, I believe. Halfway through the game, they traded him to the other team, and then he played.
That's what's going to happen to Dozer. Dozer, if he don't get his game together.
Halfway through the game, he gets to go in the other dugout.
He started off not too bad.
He tries to come off the field after
cracked
the
the
inning.
top
They're
5.
just like, nope. Pointing the other one.
If
You're
you
out.
crack the top 5 on the spread fantasy / beast mode baseball preview, preseason preview, then you're doing work, right, Jeff?
He must be the truth.
So who's number 4?
Number 4, we got a 4-time Gold Glove winner.
DP.
Won it last year, Dustin Pedroia. He's going to be turning 32 during the season.
He won the Gold Glove last year.
Yeah.
Well, this guy's been a key cog in the Boston lineup, for the better part of the last decade. Numbers, a little bit down last year. 7 home runs, 278 average. But still scored some runs, though, 72. I mean, the 337 on base percentage isn't great, but it's not bad either.
A little lower than his career numbers. He has a 299 average and a 366 on base.
I mean, but here's
He
a
was
guy.
hurt last year a lot too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he battled an injury to his wrist last year, and it forced him out of the lineup in September.
When your wrist is hurting, dude, you got no bat speed. So
Yeah,
your
that's
bat
a bad
numbers,
injury.
they're gonna. And if you could still win a Gold Glove, he still got it. It probably just the wrist injury hurt his batting numbers a little.
Well, listen,
No doubt.
I wouldn't expect the big power to come back like he used to have it. He had,
No, he should be able to hit 299 again though, or somewhere a little closer to his average.
well, yeah, he had 288 or better from 2007 to 2013, so he can definitely get back up around there, but I wouldn't expect him to hit 20 or more home runs anymore.
Nah.
Teens, 15 maybe.
How about double-digit stolen bases? You think those are going to come back?
His speed's going to drop off. I don't think he's going to... he can get to 10, 12 stolen bases for sure.
Stops getting caught.
Look, he had double-digit stolen bases in 5 or 6 years before last season, 20 or more 4 times in that stretch. He always scores a lot of runs when he's healthy. He's a RBI producer, too, some years.
Well, he's definitely going to score runs this year. Look at that Boston lineup behind him now.
Yeah.
They had a bad season last year.
Yeah, last year was a bad season for him. The year
Learning
before they
stuff
won,
just like you
I
are,
believe.
fans, every day. What about number 3? Who we got there?
Number 3, we got Ian Kinsler from the Detroit Tigers.
Gold Glove candidate.
Gold Glove candidate, absolutely.
Doesn't the Gold Glove
and
wear you down when you're in the field? Got to be heavy.
It is pretty heavy. I owned one.
Here's another guy, though, turning 33 years old. He's on the wrong side of 30. 32 is usually the last good year for a second baseman. Not always, but 275 last year, just a 307 on base percentage, way down from his 344 career number. Still, he had a career high 92 RBI. He still hit 17 home runs, had 100 runs, 15 stolen bases. He has an excellent K rate. He doesn't take too many walks, especially like he used to in his prime.
Well, I mean, he still has the pop. No question about it. I mean, and playing in that Detroit lineup's not hurting them either, I mean, hitting around Miguel Cabrera. I mean, losing Victor Martinez actually might have a little bit of an effect on his numbers
They
as far
gained
as the runs he
Cespedes, though.
scores.
Didn't they pick up Cespedes?
Yeah, Yoenis Cespedes.
He's good with the bat.
Yeah, he's no Victor Martinez, though.
But Kinsler, he's been a consistent
Victor Martinez
player
is
too.
no Jeff Keel.
Double-digit home runs for Kinsler in all but one season of his career. He hit 30 or more twice. He's had double-digit stolen bases in every season of his career. He had a high of 31 in 2009. This guy has 100 runs 5 times in his career, 71 RBI 6 of the past 7 seasons. He's always getting it done.
He definitely is. I mean,
He's probably a fantasy beast, right? Fantasy beast.
Yeah, he's a fantasy
he's
beast.
definitely top tier.
Well, listen, Neil Walker was our top second baseman in the National League. He may be number 4 on this list, possibly 5 or 6. I wouldn't even argue if he was 7 or 8 on this list.
So he's beat.
No, the American League second basemen are beast mode. And especially this number 2 guy. He's one of my favorites.
Jose
Altuve. He'll be turning just 25 in May. Look at his numbers last year. He hit 341 with a 377 on base. A little bit of pop. 7 home runs last year. 59 RBIs. 85
Why is he playing
runs.
for Houston?
Came up through the system. That's what they're doing.
Or whatever.
But look, 56 stolen bases, just 53 Ks and 660 at bats. This guy's going to hit 300 most years.
What about his
He
K
should just
rate?
hold out till he gets
That's
traded.
what I said. Look,
Excellent K rate.
he Ks less than once every 10 at bats. That's huge.
I'd refuse to play for Houston if I was that good.
If you actually look, his K rate improved from the 2013 when he had 85 Ks and 626 at bats, which is still excellent. So this guy's still just getting better.
Definitely. I like,
Billy Bean would love him. His numbers, huh, JK?
definitely. I mean, I love his bat. I really do. And the guy hustles. You know, he's a great second baseman also.
One thing I would say is don't expect him to hit 341 every year. That's just not going to happen. It's nobody can do
342?
that. No, he's going to have years where he hits 302. He might have some
Brutal.
290s here and there.
Garbage, 290.
That's garbage. But look, he's 5'6", 165 pounds.
Little guy, Jeff Keel. What are you, Jeff? Like 5'1"?
5'6".
165 pounds?
See, look what you could be doing in the major leagues.
Dude, I would be raking the
You
major
blew out
leagues
your
right
knee
now.
in high school baseball.
Be raking.
I didn't blow out my knee in high school baseball.
Oh, Eaton Park softball. I'm sorry.
I had a golf ball sized lump in my knee after one game. It was brutal.
So, do we even have to say who's number 1? Everyone should know by now.
Yes, everyone should know.
Who is number 1? I'm completely clueless.
Everyone should know that it's number 1 on the spread second base countdown. Robbie Cano. Get it.
Number 1 on the countdown, number 1 in Easy's heart. Robinson Cano.
He's at that age too. He's 32 now. I still expect him to.
He's in his prime.
You got a
I expect.
huge deal from Seattle. didn't
Listen,
he?
he's gonna fade, but he's gonna fade gradually, and he's still gonna have good years, even though he's not gonna put up the same numbers
He's
he
gonna
used
be
to.
Palmeiro.
He's not gonna be hitting 25 plus home runs every year anymore, like he did from 2009 to 2013.
Hey now.
But look, he's going to hit around 300 every season. He's going to have a huge on-base percentage, just like last year. He hit 314 with a 382. His home run numbers were down like everyone expected moving to Seattle from Yankee Stadium. He had just 14, but still not bad numbers. He had a career-high 10 stolen base, so you're not going to expect much speed out of him either, but he hardly ever Ks. He has an excellent walk rate. He's going to drive in runs. He's going to score runs. He's always going to have a good average.
Gold Glove candidate.
Yeah, he's good on the field, and he's a leader.
Definitely. I mean, he took a role coming over from New York, and I'll tell you what, I mean, Seattle's looking good. You know, you're definitely never going to see the 20 to 25 home runs again. I mean,
He's no Benny the Jet Rodriguez, but he's definitely number 1 on our list.
well, Benny the Jet Rodriguez could just steal bases.
The thing about him is he doesn't need to. It's great when he hits home runs and steals a few bases for you, but he doesn't need to. The way he can take a walk, he doesn't strike out much. He keeps his average high. He can be a good player without the power.
He's a good clutch player also. You know, with an improved lineup in Seattle, too. I mean, it's likely to say, I mean, he's going to get more
Hopefully
than
improve.
82 RBIs.
Break it down.
All right.
Spread
That finishes
recap.
up our spread AL second baseman recap, and we're just going to do a quick review. You know, at 15, we got the spring training battle in Toronto of Myceris Torres, Ryan Goins, and Devon Travis.
Go Travis.
14, got your boy Josh Rutledge and Grant Green both battling for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Coming in at number 13, you got Jonathan Scope for the Orioles.
Sniper, Jonathan Sniper.
Number 12, a guy I really don't like, and now he plays on one of my least favorite teams in Steven Drew.
It's a lose-lose situation.
11, another spring battle, Carlos Sanchez and Micah Johnson for the Chicago White Sox.
Number 10, Nick Franklin, Tampa Bay Rays.
Number 9, you got the most interesting man in the world, Omar Infante for the Royals.
At number 8, we have someone that stinks up the place in rugged
Rough
odor.
Rough odor, sorry, buddy. 7, oh man, solid. He's in his prime. I don't like this guy. Jason Kipnis, whatever. 6, dude. 6.
Moving along.
Number 6, Mr. Versatile, Oakland Athletics, Ben Zobrist.
Top 5.
Number 5, Brian Dozier. Twins.
Number 4 for the Boston Red Sox, always winning Gold Gloves, Dustin Pedroia.
3, fantasy. He is your fantasy Cinderella. Not even Cinderella. He's your fantasy Snow White. Ian Kinsler for the Detroit Tigers. That team's beast, too.
Number 2, Jose Altuve, Houston Astros.
And number 1 in everybody's heart, Robinson Cano, Seattle Mariners.
All about consistency.
You can know.
Well, that wraps up our coverage for AL second baseman. I want to thank you guys for coming in studio. Thank you, fans, for listening. You guys can follow us on Twitter at bet_the_spread. Follow me on Twitter at betjimthewin. Follow Easy on Twitter at
Go bleep yourself.
Jeff doesn't have Twitter because he would shoot his phone if it beeped that many times. You guys can like us on Facebook and like us on YouTube.